Bradford City continue their 2025-26 League One campaign with an away clash against Grant McCann's Doncaster Rovers, and in today's video you're going to find out how both teams have got on so far this season, what my starting 11 would be if I was Graham Alexander. If you do go on to enjoy, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. But my team Bradford City, we currently sit third in the League One table. After 6 matches we've got 4 wins, 2 draws and 0 defeats, scoring 10 goals and also conceding 6, which leaves us on a positive 4 goal difference and 14 points. Our last couple of matches then have been a win, a draw, a win and a draw. In terms of them last couple of matches then, on Tuesday we had a 2-1 victory at home at Grimsby Town in the EFL Trophy. As you can see by the stats, in particular in the second half, it was a total domination by Bradford City, and I'm absolutely delighted that Andy Cook got his first minute since New Year's Day, where he picked up that ACL injury, came on off the bench to score a brace, 2 textbook classic Andy Cook headers, absolutely outstanding. First half I thought our tempo was off a bit. The penalty we give away is just a really sloppy back pass from Tyreek Wright. Even their red card I thought was a bit harsh. The tackle that they did in the opening couple of minutes was probably worse than it, in all honesty. The referee was absolutely garbage, but Tuesday was all about Andy Cook, and hopefully can be included in the matchday squad again in this fixture. We also had a 3-2 win at home to AFC Wimbledon, a very different type of performance that we've seen so far this season from Bradford City. We didn't play particularly well. It wasn't constant pressure and high pressing football. It was more gritted, dogged determination, winning your battle, winning your duels. And yes, we got a little bit lucky with their goals, but sometimes you got to force your luck by applying pressure, and it was again another big 3 points for us. We also had a fantastic 3-0 win away at Stoke City. We were absolutely outstanding in this game. To say it was largely our second string players, we were absolutely brilliant, and a lot of credit needs to go to the players who wanted to take their opportunity, the likes of Brad Halliday, for example. Will Swan was outstanding once again, but to go away to a championship side who were top of the table at the time and completely play them off the park, absolutely outstanding. And we also had a 1-1 draw away to Peterborough United. A bit of a nothing game, in honesty. To say there was 28 shots, it certainly didn't feel like it if you watched the game. Disappointing to concede in injury time, but a point away from home isn't the end of the world. I know this is still the only goal that Peterborough have scored from open play in the league so far this season. It was a little bit disappointing from our point of view, but I don't think we really did enough to deserve to win the football match. And we also had a 2-1 win away at Stockport County. First half they completely played us off the park, but we made a tactical tweak at half time, and second half we looked much better, much more like ourselves. Went to 2 up front and scored 2 very good goals through Will Swan and Anthony Sarswick scoring the winner against his former side. But the first half was total domination from the home side, but again, not many teams are going to go away to Stockport this season and win. Compared though to Doncaster Rovers, they currently sit 5th in the League One table. The entire playoff spots at this moment in time are occupied by Yorkshire clubs, but Doncaster obviously promoted last season alongside ourselves. They ended up winning the League 2 title, and after 6 games so far this campaign, they've picked up 4 wins, 1 draw and 1 defeat, scoring 6 goals and conceding 4, so not the most entertaining of matches so far this campaign, considering how free scoring they were towards the back end of last campaign. It leaves them on a positive 2 goal difference and 13 points. Their last couple of matches then have been a win, a loss, a draw and a win. In terms of them last couple of matches then, on Tuesday they had a 2-1 victory at home to Everton's under-21s, despite conceding a 91st minute equaliser, with the Everton under-21s team only shot on target in the game. Doncaster went up the other end just a couple of minutes later and scored a 94th minute winner through Joe Sabara. Looking at their lineup for this game, it was largely a mixed team, but that is a more than competent League One back four. Sterry obviously returning from injury. Ori Alden has been outstanding for them so far this campaign. Jay McGrath, we know about the talent he's got. Clifton started a lot of games in the league this season. Hanlon started a fair few as well, and pretty much every other player is what you would call a rotation player, but still a good win for Doncaster. They also had a 1-0 win at home to Rotherham United. Owen Bailey scoring the only goal of the game in that one, and he's scored a fair few so far this season. I think 4 or 5 already. He has certainly popped up with a lot of goals. There was 29 shots in the game, only 6 of them being on target. As you would expect, Doncaster did dominate possession. They are a possession-based side, and I feel like that could certainly suit us in this game. They also had a 2-0 win away at Accrington Stanley. Again, Owen Bailey finding himself on the score sheet, same as Ben Close. Looking at the stats, it was a thoroughly deserved 3 points. You don't get 3 points for a cup win, but it was a deserved win for Doncaster Rovers, and obviously Josh Woods got a second yellow card offence, I do believe, and that I think it was was on Luke Molineux, so he missed the game against Rotherham, but I'm pretty sure he will be back for this one, although he's not had the best start to life in League One. Before that match then, they had a 1-0 win away at Port Vale. Again, Owen Bailey scoring the only goal of the game in this one, with Doncaster's only shot on target. That's been the difference between these two sides so far this season. Doncaster have been strong defensively, and they've come up with the odd goal here or there. Port Vale are struggling to score, and they're conceding sloppy goals as well. From a Port Vale point of view, I think they were disappointed because nobody seemed to track the run of Owen Bailey, and they also had a 2-0 defeat away at Huddersfield Town, which for some reason is not going to load. There we go. The 2-0 defeat away at Huddersfield Town. Doncaster had more shots and possession in the game, but Huddersfield clearly more clinical on the day. 2 pretty late goals in this one all. I feel like that penalty was extremely soft, if I'm being completely honest. Taking the bias away from it, it certainly did seem a very, very harsh decision from a Doncaster point of view, but that I think has been their only defeat of the season so far. So it's two good sides going head to head, as we did back in April. We all know how that turned out. It's time for revenge. Before we do go any further though with today's video, please make sure to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Can we try and hit 120 likes on today's video? And don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. What is your score prediction for this match? What would your starting 11 be as well? There's a lot of talent in this squad. There's not too many players injured at this moment in time, so you're going to have some real talented players not even making it on the bench this weekend. In terms of my team then for this game, I would stick with the 3-4-2-1 formation. In goal, I would go with Sam Walker. Obviously, Joe Hilton got his first competitive minutes in a Bradford City shirt on Tuesday, and because of the red card, didn't really have much to do. I know he gives away a penalty, but I'm not looking at Joe Hilton as to who's at fault for that one. I think Tariq Wright's back pass was absolutely awful, and even then, I don't think Hilton actually makes any contact with their attacker, but because we didn't see enough from Hilton, and Sam Walker has also had a great start to the season, for me, he has to stay in between the sticks. But again, we go back to that game in April. Doncaster's second goal, Sam Walker's positioning was all over the place, so I'm sure he'll be looking to make up for that error and hopefully keep a clean sheet in this game. In terms of my back three then, at right centre-back, I would stick with Aidan Baldwin. Obviously, we know Matt Pennington won't feature in this game. He should hopefully be back in full training next week alongside Neil Byrne, who is ahead of schedule, but they've not taken part in full training, so they're not going to be available. So Baldwin starts at right centre-back, and I thought on Tuesday, in particular in the second half, he was very, very good. 1v1 defending was great, and I think it went under the radar a little bit, but his passing range was absolutely outstanding. Plays a big part in our second goal, that through ball to Josh Nerthal, and although he'll be playing on the right side in this one, hopefully no ridiculously silly red cards like what he did back in April, but I'm pretty sure he will have learnt from that, and I'm positive he'll probably just keep his mouth shut for the entire game because he doesn't want to have a repeat of what happened last time. In the middle, I would go with Joe Wright. Very physical, very strong defender. He's had a good start to the season on the whole, despite his performance against Wimbledon not being the best. You could argue he should do better for both of their goals. Apart from that, he's had a really, really good start to the season. And I know Doncaster are not the most physical team in terms of strikers if they're going to play a Billy Sharp, but maybe if they play a Brandon Hanlon, that would certainly play into our hands. But Joe Wright for me has been solid so far this season, so he definitely should start. And at left centre-back, I would go with Curtis Till. Again, Kieran Kelly got another opportunity on Tuesday, and I don't really feel like he took it, in all honesty. A couple of heavy touches or sloppy passes at times as well, and I feel like Kelly's iffy start to the season is a big reason as to why Tom McIntyre has come in through the door. But Curtis Till has had a very strong start to the season as well. Obviously came off with an injury against Wimbledon, but was named on the bench on Tuesday, so he should be fine and fit, raring to go for this one. And for me personally, he should keep his place at left centre back. In terms of my midfield four then, at right wing back, I would go with Josh Nerthal. Again, I wouldn't say against Wimbledon he was outstanding. We're just seeing a lot of flashes and glimpses of Nerthal, but on Tuesday, obviously we were playing very attacking. It was pretty much total domination. We were heavily reliant on our wing backs, and Nerthal puts in a great ball for our first goal. For a lot of strikers, it's just kind of into an area and you'll hope that the striker will deal with it, but Andy Cook only needs half a sniff. He doesn't even need half a chance, just the ball to be in the box, up in the air, and he'll go and attack it. And it was great to see Nerthal on the assist sheet, and I feel like away from home, his pace on the counter will be important for us. In terms of my two central midfielders, firstly I would go with the captain captain at max power. I thought we saw the levels raise on the pitch when Power came on the pitch at half-time, and for me personally, he's just had a really positive, good start to the season. He's a very important leader for us, and especially in these type of games, Power definitely should be starting. And his partner, again, for me, this was the hardest position on the pitch to pick for this game, but I have gone with Alex Patterson. Obviously played the entire game on Tuesday, so we don't want to run him into the ground in this game and play him with another 90 minutes, but I think even 70 minutes or so, he should be able to get through that with no injury problems. And obviously we've got the next couple of weeks to have the midweek free. But Patterson, I feel like in this type of game where Doncaster haven't really got a physical midfield, it's a lot more technical in terms of their ability. Patterson's pressing ability is one of the best in the entire team. We saw for our goal against Peterborough how important that can be. So Patterson definitely keeps his place in the side for me. And as my left wing back, I would go with Ibu Toure. We saw Tyreek Wright fill in there on Tuesday just to give Toure a rest. I can't see it being any other reason, because right at wing back simply doesn't work. He was largely at fault for the goal that we do concede on Tuesday, and again it was just back to that meh sort of Tyreek Wright that we've seen rather than the positive electric Wright that we've seen playing in a front three. But I understand why Alexander did that, because obviously Lewis Richards is injured. And in terms of Ibu Toure, he's had an outstanding start to the season, so consistent, so strong defensively, even pretty good going forward as well. So yeah, he absolutely keeps his place in the starting 11 for me. And if somebody like Luke Molyneux is going to be playing, then you need Ibu Toure to be on his best, I was going to say best behaviour, but on his best game. And finally then, into my front three. Firstly, as my right attacking midfielder, I would go with Anthony Sarcevic. Obviously, his minutes have been very iffy, up and down with illness and coming back and trying to rest him, and then he gets ill again, and it's just not been a great couple of weeks for Sarcevic in terms of minutes on the pitch. Obviously, wasn't included in the matchday squad on Tuesday, but I would anticipate he'll be raring to go for this game. Again, he was part of that team that played last campaign in the match back in April, so he'll be looking to put right the wrongs of that day. And as my left attacking midfielder, I would go with Bobby Point, and I thought on Tuesday was very solid. Was unlucky not to get an assist near the end of the first half where Stephen Humphries missed that one-on-one. Yeah, it was a decent save from the keeper, but the shot from Humphries was pretty much right at the goalkeeper. And Point, and especially when we went to the two up front, we brought Andy Cook on and Point was playing more centrally. I thought he picked up some really nice positions and certainly looked quite good on that occasion. But I think away from home, he's not been outstanding so far this campaign, so hopefully he can produce some more moments of magic in this one. And as my striker, pretty simple pick for me. It absolutely has to be Will Swan. The man has scored 5 goals already in Bradford City colours. I think he's impressed far more than Stephen Humphries in my opinion so far. Playing as that lone striker, Swan has to start this game. Obviously was on the bench on Tuesday as well, so I'm thinking if Humphries has played against Wimbledon, then he started the match as well against Grimsby on Tuesday, Swan surely has to be getting a start in this game, because the man keeps scoring goals. You need to have him in the team. We need goal scorers in the team. Swan is doing that at the moment. He's already got 5 this season, so he should definitely lead the line for me in my opinion. On the bench then for me, I would go with Joe Hilton, Brad Halliday, Tom McIntyre, Tommy Lee. Nick Powell is a bit of an interesting one. I'm not sure if he's picked up a knock or some type of injury, because I thought it was very surprising he wasn't included in the matchday squad on Tuesday, but we've not had any confirmation about a potential injury. Stephen Humphries and also Andy Cook as well. Now if Cook obviously doesn't make it for Saturday, if he's still feeling a bit sore and a bit stiff from Tuesday, then you put somebody like a George Lapsley on the bench or a Tyreek Wright for example. But the players currently unavailable are Matt Pennington, Neil Byrne, Lewis Richards and Callum Kavanagh, so we're not really that light on numbers at this moment in time. In terms of the players who miss out then through selection, it would be Zach Hadey, George Goodman, Kieran Kelly, Jensen Metcalf, which is crazy to say because I think he's had a great start to life in a Bradford City shirt, George Lapsley and also Tyreek Wright. I'm not sure about Harry Ibbotson if he's returned from his loan from Chorley yet, or he'll come back for next week's game against Huddersfield, but again I can't see him getting and breaking into that first team at this moment in time. But it's a strong squad, a lot of competition for places, and it's going to be a tough game this one. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there then for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Can we try and hit 150 likes as I mentioned at the start of today's video? And don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. What would be your starting 11 for this match and what is your score prediction as well? If you want to find out my score prediction, head over to more SHD to find that out. But spoiler, I'm back in the Bantams for a win. Thank you all for watching, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon for another one.